Hi, I'm here with Ellie, who's doing the front-end design for the Australian team. Do you want to just tell us a bit about what you've done over the last few hours with the site? It's looking a bit more progressed now.
All the static pages structure is done with WordPress. The basic structure for the site is done, or the homepage anyway. Still not complete. Definitely not from CSS point of view. I don't know.
Alright, do you feel confident about being able to finish within time? No, do you have an estimate about how long it's going to take?
No.
Okay. So you're completely not confident. You're feeling exhausted. Have you got bags under your eyes?
I think I'm fine.
Right. You don't need me to steal Baraka from the New Zealand team for you?
Do they have some?
Yes.
It's performance enhancing drugs.
Will you do it?
I do not endorse performance enhancing drugs.
No, I think I'm fine.
Okay. Can you tell us a bit about how you're going with your Photoshop designs?
Basically just plugging in the content now that we've sort of fleshed out on the whiteboard and lining everything up to look pretty in a grid. And then once that's all the text in there and it's looking nice, start fleshing out some of the design elements and enhancing the bits that need to be enhanced, making things look clickable.
Okay. So how much longer do you think you'll be working on this before it's mostly complete?
I'm hoping to have it looking mostly similar for look and feel by midnight, so next 40 minutes.
Okay. We'll be back then to take another look.
Too easy.
Thanks. Hi Patrick. Do you want to just tell us a bit about how boring your job is at the moment, entering content?
It's not boring at all because it's going towards a worthy cause. If there was no content, there's no point having a website.
Yay! Woo! Love to hear
Lots
that.
of cheers from the content.
Content is king.
Good answer. So,
But it is monotonous.
monotonous? Yes. Okay.
Monotonous,
Monotonous but not
rewarding.
boring. Okay.
Things are a bit monotonous.
Alright, so have you written all this content from scratch or have you, is it copied and pasted from the previous site?
Copy and paste. Lots of copy and paste.
Any revision?
Rhonda's been writing a little bit, so we do have some new content.
So otherwise, your job lacks creative skill?
This particular job does, yes.
Alright.
Not all of my job, just this part of the job.
Yeah, it's alright. I saw you did some stuff on the whiteboard earlier.
Yeah, drawing on whiteboard's very creative. That's me. Yeah.
It's nice. Alright, so how are you feeling with the exhaustion? Are you feeling tired?
Nah, not too bad. Yeah, it doesn't really feel like 2 in the
I'm
morning.
working on the user guide for the website so that when we present the client with the final working site at the end of the time, they'll also have a bit of a guideline on how to start editing posts that we've created for them, how to add new news articles, how to send out their newsletter, and the other bits of functionality that we've written up for them. So I'm basically writing a pretty simple guide just so they can get started with it. And as we get further on with creating the live version of the template, I'll put more screenshots and stuff in so they can see how to look when they do things right and what it'll look like if they do something wrong so they can fix it.
Well, you're using WordPress, so how much of this is actually copied from the WordPress user manual?
So far, almost all the WordPress user manuals I found are all about installing it, trying to handhold through that. And I haven't actually found that much that's just WordPress focused on updating and managing your content. I'm sure it's out there, I just haven't got to it yet. So because we're writing some custom functionality into our plugins as well.
What sort of custom functionality are you writing?
Mostly customizing our newsletter plugin and stuff like that, so it does a couple of extra things that they want. So we'll have to modify the user guides for that. Most of it will be written directly for Peter because he'll be the dude updating the site, but we'll also let them know how to create new users in the future if they want, if they expand the number of people.
Hi Rhonda.
Hello.
What are you working on right now?
Content. There's a fair bit of complex content for this site. So I'm just sort of working through that and trying to make sense of it.
Okay, so
from a
that's
user perspective.
that's what Patrick was working on just then.
Yeah, that's
How
right.
does his role differ from yours at the moment?
So I suppose I'm leading the content, but he's just helping me out on a few pages and loading up the content
Because
I'm running out of time.
he's user experience, so his
Yeah.
job is effectively over.
Yeah,
So he's-
well, kind of. I think user experience continues on. Yeah, so we're working really closely together on IA and user experience and content. So
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you also just copying and pasting, or you got more creative work?
no, a lot of editing just to simplify the
Lots of
information.
synonyms.
Yeah, absolutely. So trying to make sense of what they're trying to say, and I have the client right in front of me, so I'm asking a lot of
Okay.
questions.
So how do you ask questions? Do you write notes because he's deaf?
Yeah,
and
I speak really clearly and sort of.
you can lip read.
Yeah, you can
Oh.
read and I emphasise what I'm saying and look directly at him.
Okay.
He did have someone doing sign language earlier in the day.
Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah, but that person's not here now. So, but it's working fine.
So how does he answer? Can he sort of speak a little
Yeah, he can speak a bit. Sometimes he writes
bit? Okay.
and points. A lot of pointing.
Okay.
But yeah, it's going well. A lot of fun.
Awesome. I
Yeah.
was curious how that was working.
Yeah, it's all good.
Hi, James. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about what you're currently working on?
At the moment I'm writing a plugin, so over the last few hours I've just been kind of looking for suitable plugins that might kind of do what we need to do, and
These are WordPress plugins written in PHP?
WordPress, yeah, we're going with WordPress, so WordPress plugins, and I've realised much to my disdain that there's too many WordPress plugins actually, and quite difficult to wade through, so just kind of customising and rewriting plugins at the moment, yeah.
So what really drove your decision to choose WordPress over something else, or as opposed to writing a custom CMS yourself?
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess to some extent, like it's no point like reinventing the wheel. Like we kind of had looked at text pattern early on. Ellie has a lot of experience using text pattern. WordPress itself, like most of us have used WordPress at one stage or another. As much as I was complaining about the number of plugins a minute ago, like I mean that was sort of the main driver this morning when we made that decision. Just based on the functionality that we were going to try and provide, like I mean, WordPress was probably going to be the most suitable. So,
Okay.
Yeah, we kind of had decided as well if we could, we'd like to avoid things like Joomla and Drupal. Just having spoken to people from last year and things like this, like they seem to spend a lot of time on writing rather than writing.
Okay. Well, WordPress is like very much optimized for simple blogging applications. Is there much extra functionality you've added to spice it up a bit?
Yeah, I mean, like the custom plugin we're writing now is, I mean, it's nothing at all to do with blogging. I mean, like it does do well as a CMS in itself. Like it's just a matter of actually making some changes rather than having to put any plugins in place. I mean, with standard functionality, it could function perfectly fine as a CMS. So, like we have a number of plugins already just gone in default without changing them as well. Yeah, and we are writing a couple as well.
Okay. All right. So are you confident you'll be able to finish on time?
Absolutely.
All right. With time to spare?
Hopefully, with time to spare. Yeah, I'm hoping to catch a nap at about 7 o'clock.
All right.
9
So
o'clock maybe.
who's making the party preparations for? Have you got someone working on that?
We have a secret team in a secret location, potentially a volcano. Yes, doing just that. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Thanks for your time.